This is actually my video on Conor McGregor's Instagram post on his assessment of the Khabib fight. And he does a round by round assessment of the fight, right? How he looked at it from his perspective. We all saw it from a fan perspective, right? We saw it from the outside. Khabib has his own version. Conor has his own perspective. So this is an interesting take, and I think it's worth the read. Whether you're a fan of Conor or not, you should definitely go to his Instagram page and check out what he said and try to read it with an open mind. Number one, I am glad that he did wait a few weeks so he can have a clear mind, and I believe that this is something, from his heart, as honest as it can be. There's one thing that he said that I really have a big problem with, and there's one thing that he said that I agree with. He said that I gave my attacking grappling no respect, too defense-minded. That is something that John Kavanagh, Conor's coach, has said on the Joe Rogan show. If Khabib takes him down, he's just going to stay down, and all he's going to do is just play defense, right? He's not going to try to attack. He's not going to try to sweep. He'll just play defense. And it showed in the fight. Now, I don't know how having an offensive mind would have changed the outcome of the fight. I still think Khabib would keep him down, but at the same time, I think that's a true statement. That's a true, honest statement by Conor McGregor and by Conor's coach as well. That when you're fighting Khabib, this is not just for Conor, but when you're fighting Khabib, you can't just have a defense mind, right? You have to be on the offensive on the ground. You have to threaten with attacks, submission attacks, sweeps, things like that. What I had a problem with in his post. Round two, he was running away around the cage before being blessed with the right hand that changed the course of the round and the fight. Now, while I agree that the right hand Khabib landed did change the course of the fight, or the course of the round and the fight, I don't think he was blessed. Khabib set that right hand perfectly, right? It was not a lucky shot. It's not like Khabib and Conor was swinging wildly and Khabib closed his eyes and hit Conor with a miracle shot. That's not what happened. He set his shot up. One thing with Conor McGregor is that he has excellent reaction time. As soon as Khabib went for the fake, Conor immediately reacts. Khabib throws that missile right hand. And one thing I will say about grapplers and wrestlers is that when they throw punches, they don't usually commit, right? They're not very comfortable. You see them a lot of times when they punch, they're more like punching backwards, right? But he committed to his punch. Khabib threw with conviction, and he knocked Conor down on his butt. For Conor to say that he got blessed with the right hand, he also says that I gave his fighting, upright fighting, no respect in preparation. Basically, he only had, grapplers and wrestlers only. If that really is the case, I think that's an arrogant and a foolish move by Conor McGregor, and he paid the price because this is not a grappling match. But when you're fighting a mixed martial artist under mixed martial arts rules, to say that you only train against grapplers and wrestlers, that's an arrogant and a foolish move by Conor McGregor. And to me, that's an amateur move by Conor McGregor. And I don't think it's a fair assessment. I don't think he's being honest with himself when he says that. Khabib has put people on their ass on the ground, on the feet before. He's knocked people out before on the feet. So this is not something that, like, oh my God, we've never seen before. It's not like Hoist Gracie over here. Khabib has power in his hands. He's quick. He has been striking. He comes from a great camp, American Kickboxing Academy, as well as his back home in Dagestan. So for Conor to say that, I think he's just not being fair with himself. That shot was set up perfectly. That overhand right hand was set up perfectly with that fake. He went for the fake. Conor saw it. He took it. Khabib threw with conviction, put him on his butt. So that was probably my biggest issue, that he's not being honest with himself in his post. Some of it is true. Some of it, like this one, I have a problem with. But overall, I'm glad that he was able to write in his own words, I'm assuming, what happened in that fight. And it's an interesting read. And I suggest everyone who hasn't read it, go up there and read it and see what you think about that fight. Because we've all seen it, but see it from his perspective. But overall, I think I agree with that. He was just too defense-minded on the grappling. That anytime you fight Khabib, I think everyone's too defense-minded. And you got to be on the offensive against Khabib. You can't just stay there thinking that, let me just survive this round, because that's not going to work against him. And as far as Conor, talking about Khabib got blessed with the shot, I totally disagree with that. Khabib is a mixed martial artist. He has years to stand up. He knows how to strike. He will put you down. And one thing about grapplers is that they know how to set up their shots. They know how to fake them, right? They know that the striker is worried about the shot. So when they go for the shot and they see the flinch, when they see him go for the defense, they threw the right hand, and that's exactly what happened. It was great execution by Khabib. So Conor has to be honest with himself on that. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you thought about Conor McGregor's post, if he's being honest with himself, if you thought it was fair, if you thought some parts were fair or some parts were not. But I will say another thing that I really like about the post is that he said that if he's not going to get a rematch, that's not a problem, that he will fight somebody else. And I like that because I don't think he should get a rematch. I like that Khabib doesn't want to give him a rematch. I hope Khabib fights Tony Ferguson next for the belt, and I hope Conor fights somebody else.